you've entered into your portal password online to see your results before you even have your consult with your medical doctor, you're going to see flag. LDL cholesterol, bad cholesterol is high. That's what you're going to see with a red arrow pointing up or a red little flag. You know they're going to bring it up, and you're going to be sitting there waiting for which statin drug is right for me. Is it going to be Crestor, Lipitor? Which one? You're just waiting for MD to get on and tell you. Well, what I'm going to give you is I'm going to give you a guide, and it's going to show you that there are substances like Google lipid resin extract that has outperformed every statin drug at improving LDL cholesterol, bad cholesterol, and HDL cholesterol, the good cholesterol, to bring it up. And not a single statin drug ever, head to head against that nutrient, has ever outperformed it. Yet your medical doctor's never told you, ever.
Look at this.
Hello,
Look
hello.
at you.
Amazing. What a show.
What's up, y'all? Where you at now, Ed?
I'm in northern Canada, David Avocado's farm up here.
Amazing.
Very cool. Tell David hi.
It's epic. Jana would love it. We're out wild harvesting. I found a reishi today that was like this big out in the forest. It was amazing. Just picking like we're eating right out of the forest, like wild apples and everything. It's awesome. A bunch of sea buckthorn.
So good.
Hi, Adrian.
Bryan, how are you?
Great. How are you? How's
I'm
Aussie?
great, my friend. It's good to see you. It's good to see everyone, actually. This is a great panel. I've been a little nervous and a little excited about speaking to all of you. And I think if you're open to it after this, I know, Bryan, you've been on the show a bunch of times and you're always setting the world alight with your commentary about the goings on of the world and educating people on what's happening. And so that's always setting the interweb of things ablaze. My Instagram page and Facebook page is never more alight than when I have something that has your little fingertips onto it. So I appreciate you. But if you guys are open to it, I'd love to have you individually so we can explore more of who you are and what you do. I think my audience would absolutely love it.
They absolutely should be known and heard. Yes, have them on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, look, I thought that perhaps we could start off with the Healing of the Ages summit that you got coming up, and maybe just give the listeners a bit of a prelude as to what it is, how it came about, and then we can maybe circle about and have a little conversation. I'm not sure how you guys are going to go for time this morning, but considering that there's a bunch of you here, I want to give you guys, as much time as possible to share your knowledge and to inspire those that are listening.
Well, I love learning from these other three, so give them the platform. If you want to just spend time with them, I'll sit back and learn like I do at every conference. I'm like,
Yeah.
just teach me what I don't know.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, well, how about we go with ladies first? Dr. Jana Schmidt, it's great to see you, and I've been listening to a bunch. Actually, I've got my little elixir here with a bit of honey and a bit of salt, Dr. Ardis, and
Stuff.
yeah, and some water, and so that's my little thing that I have every single day. But anyway, tell me more about you and tell me about the Healing of the Ages and what can people expect from it.
Well, if you haven't been to any of our conferences or seen anything, then I highly recommend you go to our website, Healing for the Ages, and look at past conferences, past virtual summits, and we do a masterclass every month. But basically, we're just informing people. We're just teaching people. We have over 100 years of experience here between us, and we're teaching people what we've learned along the way, but also what we're learning now. There's a lot that's changing, and there's so much to know. So we are learning as fast as we can and sharing this information, and it's information to empower the people back with their own health decisions instead of having the medical industrial complex tell them what's wrong with them, give them some foreign substance, and then tell them if they're well or not. It's just not the way God intended us to live or heal. So we're giving people tools so they can live as healthy and heal as well as they possibly can. And then, of course, they share that with their families. I love empowering mamas and families to teach their kids and then watch the kids take off and just be amazing teachers themselves. So that's what we're doing. And this year, it's Make Yourself Healthy Again. This was Dr. Group's brilliant idea. So make yourself healthy again. Make America healthy again is great and all, but when's the last time we actually really could rely on our government to make us healthy?
Yeah.
Like I've never, not in my lifetime anyway. And I was raised in an area and in a way that was different, that they kind of taught me to question those things. So my mom was a full-on hippie, brilliant woman. We lived in a commune, this big hippie commune, and grew our own food and grew our own medicine and ran around barefoot, and Native American Indian grandmother, and she helped teach me all kinds of cool herbal things. And then my dad was a doctor, so I got to see the dichotomy. He was a doctor in the allopathic world, so I got to see the dichotomy, and so did he, which was really very impactful because his eyes were opened, and then together we were actually a really powerful team while he was still around. So we are bringing that kind of information to everyone. And it's so much simpler and easier than you would expect to step away from the pharmaceuticals, the processed foods, the moment you make one small step in that direction, you see how amazing you can feel. You'll want to do more and more and more. So we help people take those baby steps if they want, or those giant leaps if they want. There's, all different kinds of people, and we help them in every step wherever they are.
That's amazing. Jana, do you think that the word hippie has just been replaced with conspiracy theorists? Isn't that like the 60s version of a tinfoil hat wearing conspiracy theorist? That's all a hippie was, right?
Probably, yeah. They questioned everything, but also they were very community minded, and they liked to live as close to the earth the way God intended it. So grow as much as you can instead of go to the store to get it. That's what I picked up out of that. And my dad, he was great, triathlete, Navy SEAL, outdoorsman. So I gleaned all of that, gleaned what I could from the hippie commune. I put it all together and found the best of all those worlds to then when I got ready to go to med school, it was clear which direction I was going in. I
Yeah.
absolutely couldn't hold my tongue through allopathic med school. So it was obvious naturopathic and master herbalist and things like that were where I was going. And it's been amazing. It's been an amazing journey. I've got to meet these wonderful people, and our hearts are so aligned in the way we help people. It was so clear and so amazing. Constantly, you guys, I'm always inspired by you and amazed by this connection that God's put together. I think it's going to continue to do that. And we hear that from others that we teach and share our wisdom with and knowledge. And they say it too. They say this is such an amazing team that they can feel our synergy. So I'm really excited for the conference. The in-person, if you can come in person, it's like nothing else. When we thought we're going to put on a conference, well, this was Dr. Ardis's dream, and his whole everything. Like he asked us, and we said sure, and of course we said yes. How can you say no to him? And we thought we want to do everything that we would want in a conference. We've all been to just, hundreds of conferences and have been speakers, and they're great, but there tends to be a little bit of disjointing within the speakers. Like somebody may say something that I don't agree with, or I may say something they don't agree with, or there's someone there selling something, or it's a political move, and that's just not us. So we thought, okay, we're all on the same page. We're all going to present on the same front. We all respect each other, back each other up, and then we want to have a conference where there's so much love and solutions. So many conferences you go to, there's so much information. People just, they're taking notes frantically and they leave, and they're more confused than when they even got there in the first place.
Agreed. Yeah.
We actually have solutions. So yes, there are a lot of problems in the world, and we can help identify those. It's important to know what they are, but we're not instilling any fear. There's no fear here. It's all joy. And we call the end, we have a big party at the end called Celebration of Solutions. So people leave empowered, stronger, and just ready to face the world. And that's the in-person. Now, if you can't make it in person, and many can't, we also have streaming. But if you join, either way, you'll still have all of our information, all of our presentations. We give away so much just data and research, and constantly doing things all year long. And we give that all away because we want people to be empowered with the knowledge that we've gotten, and so they can, be strong in their decisions and not back down, and stand strong against the tyranny, against the pushback, maybe even within their own family. We've all experienced that.
For sure. Thank you very much. Edward, I wanted to ask you, with the make yourself healthy again, it sounds almost like profound, but at the same time, it's such a basic element of the human existence. We've abdicated our power away to these higher authorities, and it seems almost, when you look from my perspective, looking back for the last 5 years, and I remember speaking originally to Dr. Ardis about this, where my sort of entry point into how the world really works was the financial crisis and all that sort of monetary thing. But COVID was a great awakening. Like it really rocked me to the core in terms of just how deep this medical system has been co-opted and corrupted over the years. But again, like, my overarching theme is like, how simple is it to just make yourself healthy again, be the author of your own story, like take control, not pass over your power to these authorities, which is crazy to think, Edward, that we're in a situation where we're here collectively talking as a group of people that can share ideas, where it seems like through that time, people like you were just, and all of you were poo-pooed. Like, you guys were casted aside as like know nothings, and you're not the authority. And we've got these leading people on the internet telling us what to do with our bodies. And to be honest with you, I had no fucking idea who these people were. I don't know if they're an authority or not. I was just like, it's that whole white lab coat thing in Australia here. They used to wear their white lab coats and come on the screen. It's like, all right, is that the qualification, the lab coat? I don't understand. Anyway, I'll hand it over to you.
Or pajamas
Yeah.
called scrubs.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah.
Well, I
Crazy
think
times.
that there's just very few. Let's just say the true definition of a doctor is a teacher, not a prescriber. And there's just very few individuals, whether they've gone the natural route, chiropractic, naturopathic, acupuncturist, homeopathic, that have even broken out of the system of that. And you have to remember that any licensed school, whether it's allopathic or a natural school, still has specific guidelines that they have to teach. And the one thing that the Rockefellers and Rothschilds and the evil cabal make sure of is that regardless of what school you're in, you're still going to be taught symptomology. So whether it's allopathic and you get a prescription drug, or whether it's naturopathic and you get white willow bark or something, you're still addressing the symptoms. And granted, the natural medicine is way better, and you can, get people better with that over time, but you're still not addressing the root cause, right? And this is really the foundation of what Healing for the Ages is. Let's teach, and all of us have been doing this our whole careers. And, we got up on stage and watched 30 different doctors during COVID that nobody even knew who they were. And they were like, oh, take this, take these 5 things, and the next doctor would get up there and say, take these 10 things. And the next doctor would get up there and say, take these 10 things. And none of those doctors looked healthy at all. And they were all like 100 pounds overweight. And they're trying to teach somebody what to do to get rid of something.
Yeah.
So we're about simplicity, and we go back to the basics, okay? Like, you ask somebody, why do you have cancer? Why do you have diabetes? Why do you have heart disease? Why do you have fungus on your nails? Well, a lot of people can't answer that question. And that goes back to the biggest weapon that has ever been developed against humanity that's killed more people than anything else. And that's information, disinformation. And part of this disinformation, like we're renegades, we're black sheep, right? So we just didn't believe and just stay with the protocols that we're taught in school. Like we went outside of that. You're not going to learn what we know in any type of a school, okay? Because you're going to learn take this for this or take this for this and how to, you know, write good notes and submit
Except at our
insurance and all
schools,
this other
Dr.
stuff.
Group, right?
Except in ours,
our schools.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
right.
Just
well,
throwing that out
yeah,
there. Okay.
I should say licensed by the state schools because you know
Very
you
good.
want to go to someone who's not under the influence of any state-run school. And ultimately, what our job is to teach, first of all, to listen to people. That's one of the biggest things that's you know combobulated in the standard medical care is that doctors just don't listen and spend time with their patients and individuals. You listen to a patient or you listen to a client, and you'll know exactly within an hour or 2 hours what's causing their issue. You know, that's why doctors used to make house calls and why we did that too. You know, if we were having an issue with one of our clients, it was like, it's got to be something in the environment. But we all went out on our own and we figured out that disease and negative conditions is not that big of a deal. It's just a disruption. There's just the cause of every single condition and disease out there is a toxic external environment and a toxic internal environment. That's it. That's all you need to know. Right? What do I mean by toxic external environment? Oh, you got a cell phone tower next to your house, you got a smart meter on your wall, you got mold in on your roof, you've got, you know, a TV next to your bed, you're sleeping with your computer. You know, these are, you know, friends and family can be toxic to you. That's on the external, anything outside of you in your environment. Bruce Lipton did an amazing job of explaining this with epigenetics and how it's not your genetics which cause the conditions. It's the environment. It's the environment that you're putting into your body, your internal environment and your external environment. So the ultimate solution is to clean your external environment and to clean your internal environment. Why is not every single doctor out there prescribing when anyone comes to them and saying, okay, first of all, we're going to clean and heal your gut. Second, we're going to clean and heal your liver. Third, we're going to get all the parasites out of your body. And fourth, we're going to get all the chemicals and heavy metals and now nanotech out of your body. You know, that to me is like so basic simplicity of like, if you know that the body, I should say the body, the mind, because the mind is being damaged through all the social media and the shows and the programming, and the soul, keeping you away from going within, keeping you away from finding God, keeping you away from spending time with yourself. So they've convinced everybody to look outside of themselves for everything. We've become a sheeple, controllable society that they can control through, really, when it ramped up with the invention of the TV and radio and magazines and stuff like that. So they can distract you and keep your attention, which is the plan, away from yourself at all times and make you dependent upon everyone else for you to survive and for you to thrive. The times are changing. You said it. This is the Great Awakening. COVID was the start of the Great Awakening. Yes, there was a lot of bad things happen. It was their plan to usher in the transhumanism agenda, which the Healing for the Ages group is the only group, really consolidated group in the world that has an electron microscope, that put together a transhumanism research team that talked about it. We're not scared to talk about anything. I'll talk about how effective urine therapy is. Bryan comes out publicly and talks about venoms. Dr. Schmidt comes out and talks about stuff you're not going to hear. Dr. Ely comes out and, you know, he challenges every single person in the Maha. And, you know, we don't like hold back from anything that we want to say because we do what we do because we care and we don't expect anything in return, right? Like all these people pushing product, like I have a product company. You can look at all my videos for 30 years. Maybe you'll find one where I actually talk about products. Because all these other vested interests out there, like, I'm going up and I'm speaking at this conference and hopefully I'm going to sell $5,000 worth of my product when I tell everybody they need to take all these things. That's a vested interest, expecting something in return. All of us, for our whole lives, we've been doing this because we have a true desire. We feel like we were put on this planet to help people through the transition of consciousness that's happening. I believe that we're all here to become enlightened beings. COVID was the start of that. The transhumanism agenda, quoted by Klaus Schwab and Bill Gates and everybody in that arena, is our plan is to turn God's agriculture, air, water, humans, everything into synthetically derived, controllable ecosystem that they have full control over: the agriculture, the water supply, the air, everything. And they even say, and the last thing is to convert the human species from a carbon-based life form to a silica-based life form. Why do you think they upgraded and installed 500,000 new towers during the pandemic under Operation Telecommunications Upgrade that nobody even heard about, because they were too busy thinking and watching the whole show with the Operation Warp Speed, which we almost stopped until Bill Gates flew in for his private meeting with President Trump. And then within 2 weeks of that meeting, RFK's vaccine advisory panel was disbanded. All of us 27 doctors that were on the COVID task force were gone, and Trump went through with Operation Warp Speed. Now, I believe that since Bill Gates is directly involved with the bioweapon development and has been for quite some time, you know how many people he's killed in India and everywhere else around the world. What I believe happened, which is some information I got from a whistleblower, is that Bill Gates walked in there with a vial and said, if you don't move forward with Operation Warp Speed, we're going to release this vial of this deadly pathogen all over the world, and billions of people are going to die, and it's going to be on your shoulders. So aside from that, we want to empower people. We want people to have that level of love for themselves. I can't tell you, I ask every single person that comes to see me for help, when is the last time you looked in the mirror and said, I love you? Like, you're happy, you're self-confident, you feel good, you're on top of the world, you're full of energy. Not once in like 25 years have I got, they wouldn't be coming to see me if they were feeling that way anyway, but this is the situation that we're in. So if you just understand that the body and the mind and the soul is being attacked, and the root cause of disease is nothing more than poisons, right? In the Latin, virus is determined as a poison. Like, your thoughts can be poisonous to you, people can be poisonous to you. A poison is just really defined as anything that's going to lower your vibrational frequency. And I believe that this is the best, this is actually the best time of my life right now, because this is the time where more and more people are waking up. And number two, we can actually get our information out there without being as heavily censored. I was completely taken off everywhere online in 2018. All of us have been censored. All of us have been followed around. All of us have had death threats. But you know what? We just keep driving and driving because we have faith and we have love for humanity, and love conquers all. And we're teaching people how to change their life by addressing, not taking stuff as symptomology, but taking responsibility. That's why it's time right now, because of the transhumanism agenda is in full motion forward. The only option you have right now is to take responsibility for your own health. It is. Find people like us, go to the Healing for the Ages conference, watch the replays. Like, we're giving you the solutions that you need on how to clean and heal your gut, how to clean and heal your liver. It just amazes me. Like, I learned this a long time ago. There's no disease or no condition in your body that arises without your liver falling below 50% functionality first.
Yeah,
Usually it
wow.
falls down to about 30%. Okay. You go into the doctor's office, they take blood, they say, oh, your thyroid's off. You need to be on thyroid medication. Oh, you have diabetes. You need to be on insulin. Oh, you have heart disease. You need to be on statins or high
Yeah.
cholesterol or whatever. Clean the liver multiple times and all those other things will go away. Why? The liver performs 500 vital functions. Okay. It's your first immune system organ. It breaks down all your nutrients, your proteins, regulates your hormones, converts your thyroid hormones. I mean, the list goes on. Why don't we have 500 medical tests to determine how well your liver is working? Because on purpose, the allopathic medical system left out all testing for gut, all testing for liver, all testing for parasites, and all testing for chemicals, heavy metals, and of course, nanotech right now. So what we do is we teach you the simple solutions of how you can come back into your body, how you understand what the root cause of disease is, how to read labels, how to clean up and create a sacred space in your bedroom, a pure space in your bedroom, how to go through your kitchen and create a sacred, non-toxic, beautiful, organic kitchen, how to go through your bathrooms, which are have all kinds of personal care products in there full of chemicals, and clean that up. And as you clean everything up in your life, your body starts to clean things up naturally, and you're detoxifying all of these things from your system, which activates your God-given self-healing mechanism. Now, do
Mm.
you hear doctors talk about people having a self-healing mechanism?
Never.
No, you don't. This is the future. Like right now, we're the reason why we're pushing so hard on make yourself healthy again and really trying to empower people to take responsibility is because you actually do have the power to create your own happy and healthy bubble. Okay. You don't have your own home can be a sacred fortress. Your body can be a sacred temple, your body, mind, and soul. It all comes back to you. They've just convinced you to do it their way instead of doing it your way. And ultimately, this is a test. This is a test because you're either going to transform into a cyborg without consent, by the way, or you're going to resist it. It reminds me, when I watched Terminator movie when I was a kid a long time ago, there was something about that movie that I felt could happen in the future. And that's
Yeah,
actually
absolutely.
what you're seeing. And if you read through all their plans and the smart cities and having everybody connected and the biometrics and, you know, go back and look at some of those movies. I mean, you got to go there and they
It's all
scan your
there.
eyeballs. It's
Yeah, that's
all
right.
there. Go to an airport. You got to, all the biometrics and everything. They have all your information already. They've had it for a long time.
Crazy.
But that doesn't mean that they have control over your life the way that you want to live it. How you love yourself. How you spend your days with yourself, with your family. You don't have to get caught up in all that. So many people are caught up in, oh my gosh, what's going on with Maha today? Oh, let me check X, let me check Instagram, let me do all
Yeah.
this. And before
It's a
they know it,
poison
they're
in
spending
itself.
5 or 6 hours a day on that.
Yep.
This is the beautiful thing about what we're going through right now. All the people that we've helped, right? You're either going to transform or deform,
Hmm.
okay? Take somebody that comes to us and has heart disease or has cancer or whatever, they go the allopathic route, okay? They're going to deform until they eventually die. They go the natural route. What are they? They're putting themselves in the hands of somebody else that way. They go the natural route. They're putting themselves in the hands of a teacher to guide them, to work with them so they can get better.
Mm. And they're
They are,
learning about their body. They're learning about themselves, which is, like you said before, that's been removed from an option. It's almost like you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know yourself. Take it from me. I'll tell you more about you than what you know, and we'll safeguard. We'll put it like a firewall between, your higher self or your higher consciousness and what we want you to know and believe. True.
yeah, and they're transforming that way. And this is the pivotal point in our history and in our lifetimes right now. because already everybody on the planet is probably 10% to 10% cyborg. There's not one person's blood or urine that we've tested, vaxxed or unvaxxed, or bioweapon, injected or not, that
Yeah,
doesn't
really.
have nanotechnology. I can go get a roll of toilet paper from any grocery store and it's going to have nanotech on it.
Shit, that's
So
scary.
it's not about getting people scared about, all this stuff. What it is, the simple part is this. Anytime the earth shifts, anytime there's a great awakening, a move into the golden age, a very powerful shift in humanity is what we're going through right now, a higher level of consciousness. People are going to have certain levels of pain, trauma, suffering, and chaos. Okay, we all have gone through this since the pandemic was the kickoff of this transformation. That is not a bad thing. If you look at it as, oh, okay, yeah, I have chaos. What am I supposed to learn from that? How am I supposed to grow from that? How am I supposed to transform from that? How am I supposed to become a better person spiritually, mentally, and physically? It's a wake up call, is what it is. And it's the fact that you're so asleep and you're so brainwashed that the only way you can actually wake up is through pain, trauma, suffering, and
Mm,
chaos.
unfortunately,
And
yes.
that's what the whole planet is going through right now. So really it's a call. It's God is calling you to make a decision. Are you going to go with me? Are you going to learn about your body? Because when you become a silica life form, your connection to God is pretty much going to be cut off because
Screwed.
they'll have full control over your mind.
Yeah.
So that's why I keep saying it is a very, very critical time right now. And, all we have is time and decisions. That's what rules our whole life, right? Time is the most valuable asset you have, and you make massive amounts of decisions, micro decisions all day long.
Yeah, totally
You can
agree.
make a decision right now. Everybody who's watching this right now, now is the time to make a decision. A decision only takes a nanosecond to make. Yes, I'm going to start getting myself healthy again. I'm going to stop doing the things that are creating havoc in my life. I'm going to transform to a being of higher consciousness, to an enlightened being. So there's
Mm.
nothing like negative about it's all in how you view it. Like you view the world as all this negative stuff. But we have, thousands of people that have learned from us, and they're living a happy, loving life. They love themselves. They love their family. They have a clean home that's a sacred space to go to. They eat clean food. They garden. All of this stuff is possible. And it doesn't take that long to reverse and to reactivate the body's self-healing mechanism. I used to tell people, you've been poisoning your body for 40 years. We can get you better, but it's going to take another 40 years. Are you in? And they were just like, oh, doc, oh, there's no way I can do that. Oh, okay. Well, here's the good news. It's just you're going to start seeing when you start getting this junk out of your body, you're going to start seeing results in, a week, 2 weeks, within 90 days it takes to regenerate the liver. You're going to start feeling incredibly better, incredibly better. And here's the thing. We need more advanced, enlightened beings, and I'm not saying this from an egotistical standpoint because an enlightened being has no ego, has no judgment, has no division. We need every single person, these docs will tell you, that we've coached from poor health, on their deathbed, maybe 2 weeks to live, cancer, whatever. Every single one of them that has transformed their life to become a healthy, happy person, they themselves have become the teachers.
Mm.
And
Yeah,
this
that's
is what
amazing.
we need. We need more teachers. And this is the difference between you transforming or deforming. You go the allopathic and all you do is bitch and complain about your care and your doctor, and you switch doctors 10 times and you're on 20 different medications and you're depressed and you're angry and you haven't done anything. You've deformed. With
Yeah.
transformation, you transform to a place where you're at a higher level of consciousness and everybody is coming to you now, and you didn't even know you were going to become the teacher, and now you've become the teacher. And
Mm.
that's what we need is this higher level of consciousness across the planet so the 100th monkey phenomenon can kick in.
Hmm.
And you're
I
starting to
think it's
see that
happening,
already.
Edward. I think
Yeah,
there's
it
with
is.
people like you guys, there's like you're creating teachers. I think like to learn and not to teach is not to learn. Like if you have the knowledge and you don't share it, like what a travesty that is for anyone else around you that you can impact, whether it be your mum or dad or your brother or sister or your friends and family. Like, it just seems like a waste of God-given talent and information that's bestowed upon you for no use. So, yeah, I agree with you there. I think a lot of us were like, me personally, I really wanted Back to the Future, like hoverboards, but instead we're getting fucking Terminator and steel skeletons and shit like that. So anyway, hey Henry, I haven't forgotten about you. I can see some virtual musical chairs going on down there with you guys. I listened to a very spirited conversation with you just the other day. I was at work and you were going off about how this all started for you and your journey and things like that. And I'm sitting there at work and I was just like fist pumping the air and like just really energized by your yeah, I should say highly spirited conversation. I thought it was amazing.
That's such a polite way to say it. Thank you. That's probably the most beautiful way anybody ever described my rants.
Oh, it was freaking terrific. I was at work. I was like, fuck yes. This guy's speaking my language. It's awesome. Anyway.
Well, I think Adrian, the first thing is, we're all privileged to do the work that we do, and we do it from our hearts for the people that to us. It's this constant, wonderful, beautiful, familial reciprocity that we're able to develop. And the four of us are in a place in our careers where it is our duty to share this information. I mean, how many people can say that they have helped someone heal themselves from cancer, help someone heal themselves from vaccine injuries, help someone heal themselves from sexual abuse, and I'm talking severe situations. The four docs you got on the screen right now can all raise their hand to all of those questions. We've helped people with all of those things. And it's not just a little, well, I helped a little bit here. I'm talking from a person who was destroyed to fully back in the game, and back on the side of the light and ready to dance, right? Like that's what we do. The thing that's so, to me, impactful about Healing for the Ages is that you come to a conference like this and you're expecting, I think a lot of times you don't even really know what you're expecting. It's going to be fun, but there's going to be a little bit of like, what like I still cracks me up every time. Our first year that we did it, Dr. Group was teaching about transhumanism, and you could look out in the crowd and you could see like some people had a little bit of pee coming
Yeah.
out of them. You know what I mean? Like they were scared, and then Dr. Group was
Yeah.
like, wait, no, come on.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you that so you know what's going on. Of course, I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do about all that stuff and get you all healthy and everything. But what's so cool about it is that it's a conference, but it's a educational conference. It's a conference about health. It's a conference about healing. It's a conference where you come in and all of the presenters have been working together to make sure that the message that's being sent in that conference is about, in this year, make yourself healthy again. How are you going to do it? You're going to have not only wonderful presentations, but you're going to have interaction. You're going to have the opportunity to ask questions and clarify right there on the spot. And then we do something, we tried it last year, it worked out great, is we are going to actually ask the audience questions. We want to know that you're getting this stuff. And so you're going to work with people next to you online. You'll work with folks that are online. And we will make sure that you're getting what we want you to get while we're there all together. It's not about, here, look at us and all this great information that we're sharing. It's like, it means nothing if you don't get it. What's the point of knowing all this stuff if nobody gets it, right?
Mm.
And then you get a workbook at the end, a workbook so that the next couple of weeks you can start really putting into play. This was Dr. Ardis's idea. It's a brilliant idea. So that you can get this workbook of day one, day two, day three. This is what I'm doing. And then we do something that you won't see at other conferences. We get back online a couple weeks after the conference with everybody so that we can field more questions. All right, let's clarify. You've been playing around with some stuff. Now let's clarify and make sure that you got it. Okay, now we've never heard of that at any conference, but if you're really about the education, Adrian, then that's where it's at. Now, I'm going to drop a couple things on you, Adrian. I just want to know if you've heard this kind of stuff. This is some crazy stuff that I've been learning. All right,
Yeah.
These are the conversations we have all the time where we're like texting each other. And we're like, "Man, you heard of this? This is some crazy ass shit." Well, first and foremost, you've heard of the Hippocratic Oath, right?
I have.
Did you know that Hippocrates didn't write that shit?
No, I did not.
Okay, Hippocrates didn't write that, everybody. It was actually written by the cult of Asclepius 500 years after he died so that they could look like they were absorbing his teachings in when they just wanted to absorb his name. That's all
Hmm.
they wanted. So, one of the telltale signs in the giveaway of the original Hippocratic Oath is that he pledges to the god Apollo. Well, Hippocrates was his last name is Asclepion or Asclepius or something like that. He was one of a different his family lineage was from a different line than Apollo. The cult of Asclepius actually takes over the cult of Apollo round about the plague of Athens in 500 BC. Yeah, I know this kind of stuff. Well, how did you know this stuff? I read, everybody. I went and I asked questions and I read. Okay. So the first thing that you learn about the cult of Asclepius is that they absorb what they cannot kill. And this is a very important point because they've been around and in power for about 2,500 years. That's why Dr. Ardis goes on some show. I was on with Billy today, Doc, and Billy was like, I couldn't put Dr. Ardis on YouTube because they'll kick me off. They gave him a 2-week timeout just for an interview that he did with you, and that's normal. Like we're the only school, the Energetic Health Institute, that got completely deplatformed by and literally in the middle of the night, overnight. We went from no strikes to 3 strikes in an hour while
Hmm.
we were all sleeping, of course, by YouTube, right? They don't want you talking about how to be healthy because when you're healthy, you cannot be controlled and they cannot profit off of you when you are healthy. It's just a simple formula that they've been using for a very long time. What's the cult of Asclepius? The cult of Asclepius is wherever you see a stick and a single snake. It's not the dual, staff of Hermes with the caduceus, and it's not that one. It's the single stick with the snake climbing up it. That's
Hmm.
the symbol. Where do you see that? Literally everywhere, especially on the World Health
Work on
Organization.
the
It's
forum.
prominent
That's
on
right.
their logo, right? So you have to know first and foremost who you're dealing with. Well, you're
Every
dealing with
hospital, every ambulance, they all have the same symbol,
right?
people.
It's a,
Wow.
it's a cult. Let me say this again so you get it. It's a cult, a religious cult. That's what the white coat is, by the way. It's a
Oh,
part of
stay
their
there. The
drainage.
American Medical Association logo is the
Yeah,
same, but look at it, it's a little bit different. They wind the snake in 3 circles. It literally is a 666 surrounding the
six.
stick. That is the
Exactly.
American Medical Association's logo right now.
Oh shit.
It's there. It's hiding in plain sight. If it's that crazy, Adrian. Now, let's talk about this Hippocrates thing because Dr. Group brings up these great points. It's what do they want you to know and what do they not want you to know? They want you to know that you were designed to be sick at all times and that you better work and do everything they say. And if you don't, they will fire you, which is absurd. Okay, hold on. I'm paying you, but I'm getting fired. How did that work out? Right? That doesn't make any damn sense. You guys kill 450,000 Americans a year doing it the correct way, doing what you're
Yeah, that's
supposed
right.
to do. And I'm getting fired. Thank you. I'm fired. I'll take that firing right there.
Sure.
Now, what you have to appreciate is this, Adrian. This is the simplicity of it. What are we teaching at our core foundation? Like Dr. Roop's saying, we're teaching about the cleanliness. We're teaching about how to clean your internal and your external environment. What you put in your body matters. What you expose your body to matters. Really simple, right? Well, the most effective natural therapeutic in the history of known civilization, and this is where Hippocrates comes back in, is nutrition. There's a reason that Hippocrates said, let thy food be thy medicine and thy medicine be thy food. There's a reason he said that because it worked. Hippocrates comes to power, at least comes to fame in the Mediterranean during the plague of Athens, this great plague that was wiping out 1 in every 4, 1 in every 3 people. All right. So people were terrified. I think it was typhus. People were terrified that they were going to get typhus. You don't get typhus, everybody. And that's what Hippocrates is proving. Everybody's terrified they're going to die. Okay. They're thinking that the gods have cursed them. That's what everybody said. And Hippocrates is walking around. I see Dr. Ardis all the time when I'm reading about Hippocrates, like, you numbnuts, that's not how it works. That's not how it goes down. And so Hippocrates walks into the worst places and he shows them how to heal using food as medicine. And he's like, this is ridiculous. You don't need to go to the cult of Asclepius. Let me just show you how to make, like Dr. Group is saying, like Dr. J is saying, some different choices. Let's celebrate some solutions. It's actually where the birth of science first takes place with Hippocrates. So far, so good, Adrian?
Yeah, yeah.
Now, so what do you think? What do you think Hippocrates with his two sons, they start a school on the island of Kos and they plant it right next to a temple for the cult of Asclepius because they are pissed and they want this all gone. The first phrase from Hippocrates, Adrian, is this: first, do no harm. You've heard this one, right? That actually wasn't a medical statement. That was a political statement. It was a political statement against the cult of Asclepius. He was saying they're harming people. The first thing that you do if you want to help someone is you don't harm them. Duh, right? So Hippocrates is this funny character. You read some of his quotes and his aphorisms. He's an old man, get off my lawn kind of guy, you know, FAFO. He's one of these freedom fighters walking around, okay? And he straight does not give a fuck when you listen to him, okay, about things. So Hippocrates is cracking me up. I'm reading about him this summer. He's cracking me up and everything. And then it dawns on me, because Dr. Ardis, Dr. Groove, Dr. Schmidt, myself, we've been talking about this. The most effective and safest therapeutic known in medical history is nutrition. Well, now explain to me, Adrian, why it's not taught in allopathic medical schools. You see, a MD, a white coat, and this is true in the States. I haven't looked at it in Australia down under, but I'm sure it's the same. It's the same system. The average white coat is going to go through, Adrian, 4,800 hours of medical education. 4,800. So in 4 years, you're talking about 1,200 hours a year. That's bananas. That's so much information coming in, right? Take a wild guess, Adrian, on how many of those hours are dedicated to the study of nutrition.
Yeah, I would imagine it'd be less than a day, but like the first 3 hours of a training.
For the 15% of schools that actually responded to a query by the National Academy of Sciences last year in December, for the 15% of schools that actually responded, it was 20.4 hours out of a 4,800 hour education. That is unconscionable. You show me a medical education and curricula, and I'll show you the future. They don't see nutrition as part of the future because they want to turn everybody into cyborgs. Why would you need nutrition, right? When you can just plug somebody in.
Do you think that the ones that didn't respond was because they didn't have any?
That's exactly what happened. And they actually commented on that, Dr. J, in the study. The ones that didn't respond didn't have any. Now, 10 years earlier, guess what happened, Adrian? 89% had responded to that same thing. So that tells you, Dr. J, how many schools said, we're just going to do away with nutrition altogether. And where do you think that edict came from? The cult of Asclepius. All right. The pharmaceutical industry said, no, we're not going to do it. Now, Adrian, check this out. Would you go, all right, what's something everybody values? Our rides, right? Our vehicles. Okay.
My horse.
My horse. A horse is a horse, of course. Now, would you, all right, Adrian, take your precious vehicle to a mechanic who had exactly a weekend workshop in fixing your engine? Would you think that person would be able to do anything for you?
Yeah, never.
No.
Yeah, absolutely.
So now, if you've ever gone to a white coat and you go, why don't they tell me about nutrition? It's because they don't know about nutrition, because they're specifically not taught nutrition. Because if they were taught nutrition and taught you about nutrition, it's all gone. Healthy people cannot be controlled. Sick people are easy to control. And that's the simple paradigm they figured out.
Yeah.
So where is Healing for the Ages coming in? It's really simple. We're going to teach you the shit they don't want you to know. Now, if that sounds interesting to you, if being free sounds interesting to you, then come on and start with us, because it's going to be fun. You're going to feel great when you start putting all this stuff in, and you're going to laugh, like Dr. J said, at the simplicity of all of it. The ease. You mean that's all I had to do? Yeah. That's all. You mean the sunlight isn't bad for me? Yeah, it's not bad for you. You mean I can have an egg when it's organic and it was raised right? Yeah, you can have that egg, because Your body was designed by God. Let me break it down just real simply like this for everybody. Then I'll give up the mic to the big brother right there, Dr. Ardis. Check
All
this
good.
out. Check this out, Adrian. All right. You are a being of light. I just read a research paper that proves this, that we're emitting photons, very low level, but we're still emitting light while we're alive. Okay, peer reviewed and everything. You are a being of light living in an electric body, Dr. Becker, right? The body electric. You are a being of light living in an electric body designed by God to heal itself, self-healing mechanism, Dr. Group, right? What we show you at Healing for the Ages is how to optimize that pathway to the body healing itself so that you can break free of these chains from the cult of Asclepius that are attempting to enslave you into a lifetime of disease and financial destruction. We can't underestimate that, because what do they really want? They want your wallet, period. End of story. And they're willing to do anything that they need to do to get what's in your wallet. So with that being said,
Yeah.
back over to you, Adrian.
That was awesome. Yeah, it reminds me of like you wouldn't go to see a fat personal trainer, right? Like you want to see you want to go get some advice from someone who has like at least accomplished what you want to accomplish. And if they look fit and healthy, then you're like, you know what, this guy, this girl knows what they're talking about because they actually embody what they're representing, you know. But the like you said, it's not only the fact that Henry, these doctors have very little knowledge of nutrition. It's that they don't even apply basic knowledge of nutrition to their lives. You know, like you're looking at a
Why
good
would
deal
you,
of them. They're
Adrian, when
very
your
unhealthy.
paycheck,
They're fat, sick, and stupid. They
Adrian,
smoke. They carry on with all sorts of debilitating activities, you know, to their life and their brains, and they look dead from the neck up. To be honest with you, even when they speak to you, they're just they're
checked out, right?
yeah,
You're
they're
talking about
checked
that
out.
glaze on
Absolutely.
the eye. They're just checking. But now you have to understand the psychology of that checkout real quick, Adrian. Why are they checked out? Their entire life is built around a lie. They know their entire life is built around a lie. They seldom, if never, see and get the experience we've gotten our whole careers of people hugging you, families coming and thanking you for what you have done for them.
Mm,
When you're like, I haven't really done anything but teach you. You did all this amazing work. They don't have that payment in there, but they do have the sellout payment, vaccines into little babies, knowing that those babies have become autistic and some of them have died. So
yeah.
what you're dealing with
And I
is
think they're
somebody
doing good
who's
too. I mean,
they
that's
have
a delusion.
well, they have it's self-delusion, and it's intentional self-delusion because they don't see the success that doctors who do what we do
Mm,
see every single day. And so you have that there, you have to check out the emotion, you have to disassociate, because if you didn't, you have to deal with the truth that you are a fraud and part of it. And that's a
absolutely. They're
hard
probably more
thing
than
for a lot of
10%
people.
cyborg too, wouldn't you agree? They would. So I think
That's Dr.
they probably have a smidge more than 10% in them, I think. So anyway, hey, Dr. Ardis, how about in wrapping this up, if you maybe can tell the audience what's something that you think would blow their mind. Maybe something that if they would just, you know, if they're from Australia and they can make it over in person, then fantastic. But at least if they can buy the recorded version, can you tell me in your own words, like what do you think would absolutely just be mind blowing, or something that could maybe persuade someone to scratch the surface a little deeper about their health?
Sure. Yeah. Thanks for the opportunity. And Australia, we love you. And everybody watching, Adrian, we love you too. And thanks for hanging out with us this afternoon or evening, wherever you are in the world. Life can be better. Your health can be better than you've been sold and been told. So, what would I want to say to you about Healing for the Ages? Go to healingfortheages.com. What is there that I think would be of value to you? Not even so much the upcoming conference here in Dallas, which you all should be a part of and you should sign up for and you should watch virtually if you can't get there to Dallas, Texas, where this is going to be held. Please, everybody, I encourage you to actually go there. Why? Okay. The first one we did was 3 years ago. And the entire theme was to introduce the transhumanistic movement, how it is they are transforming our lives, how venom plays a role in that, that they had to make sure all of you had inside of you, which actually favors making your DNA when venom touches the cell of a human. We had to educate you on this. Why so much venom being introduced into the world through drugs, vaccines, cosmetics, and food supply now, which it is. Why would they need that? Well, Dr. Ed Group, speaking on transhumanistic movement going back to 2016, 17, and 18 and getting deplatformed himself way before COVID, talking about this, all he had to do was go do some research looking at my venom research and relationship to COVID. And what he discovered was venom's being used to actually change. When venom touches the internal cell of a human, muscle cell, heart cell, it doesn't matter. What it does is it actually changes its voltage potential, changes how the membrane of the cell behaves and is functioned. And they publish, it makes it easier for the DNA of the human now to be exposed to the radiation and frequencies of 5G, Wi-Fi, to be able to damage your DNA or influence your cellular activity. So all of a sudden it made sense to him that this is a vector, a vehicle they needed to help their transhumanistic movement, which was to create disease, influence thoughts in the human mind, to control your thoughts. Dr. Ed Group in the first one actually showed everybody that DARPA here in America owns the technology through smart dust and little bitty micromolecules from MIT and other places that they have published in their patents that we can send a radio frequency signal to these individuals who have inhaled, breathed this dust in that is microchips. And we can influence those little nanotech to produce signals of thought, such as kill yourself. That's what's in the documents. They can tell you to kill yourself through radio frequency.
Shit.
All right, so we introduced that, but one of the main themes of that first event was make your water healthy again. So it was introducing, and there's a free how to create your own home brewed holy water. When we're talking about basics, if you just stopped poisoning yourself with anything other than clean water to drink, your whole life will transform if you just stopped drinking sugar-laced sodas, maltodextrin, dextrose, and alcohol. If you just stop doing that and drink water, watch your life transform. Name a plant that requires Dr. Pepper to grow. Name name an ox or a dog that benefits from drinking Mountain Dew. I mean, seriously, name one. Do you give that to them? No, you wouldn't. You just give them water. There's a reason. You also have all the same organs they do. They should be bathed in water. So we made sure you got to the basics there. Go to healingfortheages.com. If you don't know how to filter your water, what devices, technologies are proven to work, we tested them all. We used our profits to go buy a whole bunch of this tech, put it in our homes, then test it in labs and make sure it's cleaning all the crap out of your water that's poisoning you. That's what we're doing. Okay, the second one. Now, this is where I'm going to leave it because the theme of the Healing for the Ages 2025, happening October 23rd, 24th, 25th in your home, virtual or in person in Dallas, Texas. Last year's theme, if any of you are sitting there going, these people can't help me, I have blank. I don't care. Fill it in. You think you got schizophrenia? You can't beat it. You think you got diabetes? You can't handle it. There's nothing you can do about it. You just need to keep doing your drugs. There's no hope for you. We presented at Healing for the Ages 2.0 in 2024. And these two conferences I just mentioned, go on to healingfortheages.com and purchase and download the replays of all those presentations. In fact, we give you our PowerPoint presentations in PDF form to print out, download, save, so you can go back and reference everything we show you.
So good.
We give all that to you. All right, so go and get it. The second one was clearing the causes of cancers. Okay, so if you're looking at the screen right now, you're listening in your headphones and you're going, but I have fibromyalgia. Y'all haven't talked about that yet. I have lupus. You haven't talked about that yet. Listen, there ain't nothing they have programmed you to fear more than cancer. Yeah. We brought 3 oncologists to our conference to present live to all of you how they have, 2 of them, helped cure thousands of people around the world, all naturally from cancer. Terminal cancers where they were told there was no hope. And then we brought this one lady up on stage named Dr. Diana Wright. Now, listen to me, everybody. If you don't think this applies to you, you have something no one else does. It's super rare. My Wilson's disease, no one else has. No, listen to me. If you think you got something that you can't fix and you can't learn from us to help you, we brought Dr. Diana right on stage and listen to what happened to her. So she's standing on stage in 2024 with us. In 2012, she's now 30 years registered nurse in a hospital system. Her colleagues diagnosed her with ovarian cancer in 2012. And when they do their PET scans to evaluate for has it metastasized or not yet, they tell her through all their solemnness and sadness, colleague, I'm sorry to tell you, your ovarian cancer has metastasized to your cervix, your uterus, your fallopian tubes, your stomach, your esophagus. It's even reached your brain. You have multiple brain tumors.
Wow.
Even if you do everything we say, Diana, you're going to be dead within 6 months. Listen, everybody, you out there, you think your suffering's worse than this lady and you can't benefit from something I'm about to tell you. This lady was standing on the stage in 2024, I said. In 2012, 12 years ago, she was told she would be dead in 6 months if she did everything her medical oncologist told her. 3 of them, by the way, in her hospital. So she went home and you know what she said? Well, then I'm definitely not doing what y'all are saying, and I'm a registered nurse. I don't want to be dead in the next 6 months if that's my only plight and my only offering of hope from you is to die anyway. All right, so I'm going to ignore the chemotherapy, radiation, surgery. She did none of it. You know what she did instead? She tells the story from the stages. I went home and I ordered every natural health book I could find online because I knew nothing about it because she never learned a damn thing about nutrition in school. Just like you just learned. So she said she ordered 60 books on Amazon and started reading them at home. 3 years later, after reading and applying the information in the books, she's 100% cured of her metastatic cancer. All by herself. No need for any intervention from chiropractors, acupuncturists, nutritionists, medical doctors. She needed nothing. All she needed was knowledge. And to take knowledge that then informed her what decisions to make next. She then goes off after curing herself, learning how to do this all naturally. She then went and got a doctor of naturopathic medicine license and then opens up a clinic in Arkansas and has now been able to help thousands of people around the world no matter what you are diagnosed with. But she loves cancer, especially when you're told you have 1 month to live, Mary, 2 weeks to live, Mary. Oh no, she's like, come on, baby. She wrote a book. You might want to go read it called Turning Months into Years because that's all you're ever given when you're diagnosed with cancer. So I don't care if you have lupus. I don't care if you have Edwards syndrome. I don't care if you have Down syndrome. I don't care if you have autism. You should be at Healing for the Ages because everywhere else is going to promote something to you that you need drugs, vaccines, surgeries, poisons to save your life or extend your life for a few months. No, you don't. That's all a lie. Anything else that is not terminal cancer, where you know you're going to die in 6 months, if you have acid reflux, if you have hemorrhoids, Healing for the Ages is right for you. If you have a kid with ADD, ADHD, Healing for the Ages is right for you. Get your ass to Healing for the Ages. You need this information. Your medical doctor's not going to give it to you. They won't even know where to start. They have no idea what to tell you. So Healing for the Ages is all about providing you tools, and then we actually give you a guide, step 1, 2, 3, 4, what we would like for you to do, and we think would be easy baby steps for you to implement everything we're teaching in your life when you go home. And then a month later, we invite all of them, the tens of thousands that attend these conferences, to come back on screen with us a month later, and we want to hear from them. What have you experienced? What are the new challenges? What questions do you have? What would you think about next? It is baby steps. Greatest analogy I've heard was a couple weeks ago. Actually, it was probably last week with Dr. Edgar. Anybody in martial arts, you know, you start out with a certain color of belt and you just keep advancing. All of you out there going like this, man, I don't know anything about venoms. I don't know anything about consciousness, which, by the way, all of you, if you think that's weird every time a group says it, another word for consciousness is awareness. Mm-hmm. You're just becoming aware to things you were never aware to before. That's it. You're being made aware. So now you're going to become aware to things you've never even thought of before. So we want to help open your awareness to things we've known for a combined 100 years. We all have children who are now adults who have never been vaccinated, ever been given a drug, and have never been medically diagnosed with a condition. How did we do it? Because all of you have been told your whole lives no child can even survive recess at elementary school without a tetanus shot. I mean, you can't even live. You got to have, they're never going to survive the fall semester without a flu shot. That's what you're all told. So to watch us bring our teenagers on stage to present, which we did last year, we had our teenagers come on stage and teach all the health professionals around the world about the truth that suicide rates in America, the highest age group attempting and completing suicide, are ages 4 to 11 years old.
That's so sad.
What child do you know is so stressed they don't want to live anymore? What expectations are we putting on these children? What are we exposing them to? This is ridiculous. So come and learn from us. We're here to give you hope. Hope that there is a better way, a different way you've never heard of to address your problems. Let me give you an example. I'm going to be presenting on the second day. I'm going to present on the 8 most common blood tests every single medical doctor is going to order on your behalf at some point in your life. And there's individual markers on there that you have to sit around and wait for your medical doctor to have a consult with you to explain to you, oh, you need a drug for this marker, you need a drug for this marker, and you still have no clue what the hell it even means. I'm going to walk you through what every marker on the 8 most common blood tests everyone around the world is going to experience in your lifetime, from health insurance, life insurance, or your medical professional, or a sports team for a physical. They're all going to do these tests. Wouldn't you like to know what they're even looking at? What they're telling you? What's wrong with you? What's right with you? Wouldn't you like to know? I'm going to walk you through, and we're going to give you a guide, a printed guide and a downloadable guide that gives you all the answers. What organ this represents, what it tells you, what it means to the people reading it, including yourself. And on the second day, I'm going to give you the other guide, which is if, for example, your LDL cholesterol, called bad cholesterol, is high, and you've entered into your portal password online to see your results before you even have your consult with your medical doctor, you're going to see flag. LDL cholesterol, bad cholesterol is high. That's what you're going to see with a red arrow pointing up or a red little flag. You know they're going to bring it up, and you're going to be sitting there waiting for which statin drug is right for me. Is it going to be Crestor, Lipitor? Which one? You're just waiting for MD to get on and tell you. Well, what I'm going to give you is I'm going to give you a guide, and it's going to show you that there are substances like Google lipid resin extract that has outperformed every statin drug at improving LDL cholesterol, bad cholesterol, and HDL cholesterol, the good cholesterol, to bring it up. And not a single statin drug ever, head to head against that nutrient, has ever outperformed it. Yet your medical doctor's never told you, ever. So I'm going to give you a guide. If you see these elevated markers, low markers, I'm going to show you what medical science and research has already confirmed. Nature outperforms drugs. You do not have high cholesterol because you're low in Lipitor. You do not have ADHD because you're Ritalin deficient. I'm sorry. That's never happened in your life. You don't have headaches because you're Tylenol deficient. You don't have a fever because you're Motrin deficient. You ever wondered why y'all keep running to the medicine cabinet to get a synthetic drug to go into your mouth? Are your symptoms a result of a drug deficiency? What's wrong with you? That doesn't even make common sense. It is true to this day, an apple a day still keeps the doctor away. Unless you love being a victim and going and sharing your suffering with another human being, don't come to Healing for the Ages. We're not looking for that. We're looking for people who want to transform their life, transform their health, and you need knowledge first to be able to even believe it's possible. And we're going to give you that information at Healing for the Ages. Come join us. It's going to be amazing.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Look, just final comments for me. I mean, it's clear that all of you have a light inside you that is nowhere near getting dimmed anytime soon. I think that if anyone listening was to go and visit their GP or whoever they're getting their medical advice from, if they only come through with as much excitement and exuberance as you guys invoke here, I think, like maybe the world would be a better place. But I'm happy to have met you guys and had this conversation. I think it's been very entertaining and very enlightening and inspiring. So I'm going to put obviously all the links in the show notes for where people can go to either watch you guys live or to download your your trainings and workbooks and everything like that. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for this conversation. It's been absolutely amazing. And like I said at the beginning, I hope we can circle back individually, maybe explore a lot more teaching, and we can help more and more people around the world.
Amen, Adrian. Very proud of you. Thank you for having us on your platform again.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Have an amazing day.
God bless Australia.
Oh, yeah.